Okay, we're back. Hello, everyone. Let's go see if we can find Poseidon. I can't remember who I was talking to in that quote, but it was probably Tingle. Don't worry, guys. You're going to get to see me play Hyrule Warriors on stream eventually as well. It's going to be a long time from now, though, as Dynasty Warrior 3 is going to take a while.
Okay. Poseidon should be hiding in some kind of processor. I need to find a console to gain access to it. There. I should be able to use that console.
Very good.
I can't do it. I can't give up on this place. I'm leaving everything on standby. The system's equipped for runs for decades, if not hundreds of years. It's a long shot. But maybe someday, against all odds, someone will find this place again. Marvel at its lights and wonders. Discover a fortune and boundless opportunity. Make it their own dream. After all, if the city can give me a second chance, if water can flow in a wasteland, anything's possible.
Ooh, that's a good question. What do you think will finish first? Dynasty Warriors 3 or Dragon Ball on Anime Night? Ooh, I'm gonna guess probably Dragon Ball, but we'll see. Hacked again. Hidden in the AC codes, so someone must have inserted it via a thermostat interface. Pretty funny, actually. You know that holo ad for the Crave Men review over at the vodka? Well, their loincloths disappeared. Went on for almost an hour before we shut it down. Chuckles aside, we can't let it happen again. I've been over the environmental and holo systems, and they look okay. On your shift, have a look at the water and filtration code. Hate to think that what might happen if those systems were compromised. It would be a lot worse than a few naked Neanderthals on the strip. Sass always finishes first. That's not true. You gotta start in order to finish.
Home, Poseidon. To Gaia. Elizabeth Sobek. Alpha Prime.
Master override activated. Restoring Poseidon's subordinate function to original code.
Okay. Gotta bring this back to Gaia.
Turn to the elevator shaft. Jeremy, how do you feel about elevators?
Looks like taking Poseidon triggered a restart of the city's power system. World and crew must have headed back up top. All the embers they could carry, but...
Look at this, guys.
Check it out as I go.
Oh, I should know how to get out of here. There it is. Remember at the beginning of the game when they talk about killing off their PR guy? As far as Zenith, you mean? Yeah, I remember. Also, what an interesting way to announce that the Zeniths are fucking assholes. Yeah, he can't come with us, so we're gonna have to kill him. You're gonna run over here, guys, real quick. Over to the Eiffel Tower, just to see if there's anything else over here we can pick up. I think I remember there being some treasure. You just assume they did the same thing to Stanley, since he's not entirely terrible. Entirely possible. I don't know if we ever find out what truly happened to him, but we'll see. Ralph von Bechta, Elite Styles.
If I shoot that, I can take cover in that spell cloud.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything over here worth grabbing, so I think everything that remains is currently back there. We'll come back down here if we have to, but for the most part, I'm gonna go out. So we got the second of the subordinate functions, guys. That's 2 of 3. We still got a lot of game left, though, so yeah, it's gonna take us a while to get through this. Not a problem for me. Hopefully not for you, as I'm really enjoying playing this. But it is gonna be a long quest. That is true. Yeah, I think you're probably right about them just straight up killing him. That seems like a Far Zenith thing to do. Bidoof? Female? Oh shit. They're adding in a lot more female Pokemon now.
Looks like that elevator I found earlier. Maybe I can catch a ride instead of climbing back up.
Catch a ride! Scooter would be proud. Guys, make sure you catch Vector's favorite Pokemon. Specifically the female version of Bidoof.
Whatever she did, it must have powered up the whole city.
There it is, guys.
Oh, the show my old Gramps always wanted. There's another.
His dream realized, his old Gramps' legacy ensured. Our hero beheld the sea of desert lights and wept at his good fortune.
When I saw the Embers as a child, I never dreamed they could be like this. Thank you, Aloy. Well, did you find what you were looking for?
I did. And now I have to move on.
Oh. Oh. Come back when you can. I got big plans for this place.
I thought you wanted to put on shows with the Embers back in the Claim.
Oh, no. This is the show. Oh, can you imagine? Folks from all over the land coming to take it all in. Plus, some food and a nice place to stay.
Not to mention a variety of entertainment venues.
Don't forget, games of chance. Plenty of shards to be had there for certain.
A new dream, huh? I hope you make it happen. Goodbye, gentlemen.
This delve is a story for the ages. All thanks to you.
That guy just checked her out. Did you see his eyes go down to her butt?
Who's gonna stay? Maybe I should come back and check on them later. For now, I need to get Poseidon back to Gaia. But I might want to find that awesome tinker who's out on her own first. And with my new diving mask, I can swim as deep as I need to. Like at those deep water sites I found earlier.
You know, we'll worry about that later. We are going to go do the still stands here, because there's a black box here that we can do. We also have this down here we can do. This up here we can do. And I think there's this one here. Like, we got a couple things that we can still do in this area, so... Let's go kick the shit out of these rebels here on this side. And then, yeah. Yeah, seeing this place lit up like this is super cool. Even though it's all like hollowed out now, buildings and whatnot. And as you get close to them, the facade disappears, but that's kind of neat still. You can get EXP for that part of it, though. Vector didn't have Bidoof in his Pokedex. He didn't have his favorite Pokemon, guys. I think it's time we make fun of Tiamat.
A rebel outpost. Gonna have to find whoever's in charge and stop them from causing any more harm.
Where he is?
Good time to pull out shock ammo.
I don't actually know if I have any shock ammo, to be honest. I think I do under the warrior bow, actually. It'd suck if Aloy died to a fucking scorpion. To the wall behind him? Behind who? Oh. That's gonna be like... Are they calling the other clone Beloy? No, they're calling her a beta. That's gonna be like, will you look at the time, turn the camera to the wall behind him, and he'll have a clock where all the time is replaced by make fun of Tiamat? Oh, no, get that clock made. Damn it, Jeremy. Alright guys, our options here are pretty slim. We can either kick the shit out of these guys, or we can... You hated that. Problem is the mounted people are, they're on, well, mounts, but also This bitch is really good at dodging. Oh, she got a headshot. I just got grenaded. Grenade.
I no longer have eyes on her!
Poor shield.
That must be the leader of this outpost. They seem to have the best cover.
He died like a bitch.
Gee. I should check if there's anything with a lock around here.
Look. I'm surprised that charger didn't just like fucking try to murder me from a distance. Instead he tried to walk over. What the hell's that? Is that a rock breaker? It's a rock breaker. Fuck that noise. We'll stay away from that. Alright, these chargers haven't decided I am a threat yet and tried to murder me. I was telling Sarah about how the chargers in my playthrough here have been absolute
Stash when I
assholes.
need it.
And she was like, what? They're like the most docile robots. And I'm like, right? But like, they fucking hate me.
Bet I can open that chest with this key I found. Tags. Just like I thought.
Are there more rebels?
I want to see these. Without a leader, the rebels should abandon this place. But I could always deal with them now.
I mean, I
By
guess
the
we
way,
gotta
I'm
kill them.
done here. Let's hope it stays that way.
I guess the chargers were also considered rebels, so got by the game, so I had to kill it. You had to go. Okay. Wish you could override the mounts and make them go apeshit on their riders. That'd be hilarious. I wish we could as well. Okay. So. Not too much more in the south here that we can do over here. So I think what we want to do is, that's a shelter, I don't care about that. Warp over to here, make our way here, and then down to this one next before we do this, and then make our way up to like this rebel outpost. A lot of rebel outposts in the desert. Hey, that's the other thing. For now, let's go over here and turn in Poseidon. Jeremy, if you could date Poseidon, where would you take him? There's a lot of stuff in here now. A lot of Utaru stuff. Nothing's the ones. Alright. The workbench here. What if I keep getting these bolt blasters? Wait, what do I need to upgrade my pouch? I haven't done anything to our pouch upgrade. We need carp skin. Okay, we haven't found any carp. Pelicans. Okay. Bass and iridescent crabs. Dull wishbone, iridescent lobster shell, crabs. Okay, we haven't found any of them. Jays. Oh, probably not. Pelican wishbone, ducks. Okay, we found one duck. I dropped a feather. I haven't found anything else. We haven't got salmon to drop anything yet. We need another 3 moonfish skin to upgrade this one. Another salmon bone for this one. I might have to do the salmon hunt off stream. Not that bad. Yeah, I still haven't gotten the primary nerve. I need to save 2 of the sack webbings though for this, so we can override them. And I need a Ravager primary nerve still. This is their room. This is the training room. The shower has been turned into... Oh, it looks like they're using it to wash clothes, so... Alright. Which I suspect this is where they should be doing that. Looks like they are also doing that here. That looks like a shitter. Sounds like Aaron's watching porn already.
Performed any more miracles?
If staying alive counts.
Nothing
I
new
should
for you.
head out.
We should turn in,
Of the 10.
Actually, there is something we can do down there, actually. How about it? There is... What was it? I thought there was a cauldron down here. Is that right? Maybe not. Maybe I'm misremembering. I know there's one over here. Alright, I thought there was a cauldron over here, but I guess not. Oh shit, now that we can dive, we can actually do this. We can actually do that next. Oh right, the sunken barrier. We can do the sunken stuff. Oh, we can at least do that quest and get it out of the way.
Oh good. Door's locked until Gaia can restore access. It was pretty weird talking to Beta, seeing someone who looks like me. Even though it seems like she doesn't act anything like me. Or Elizabeth, for that matter.
I mean, you don't really know how Elizabeth acted beyond a few.
When I met Hikaru, I figured he was just another bloodthirsty warlord. Fashav was right. Hikaru wants peace. It won't be easy. But with his new marshals, maybe his vision has a chance.
Maybe. Jeremy, how do you feel about your vision? Alright. Alright, Gaia. It's time for Poseidon.
Welcome
Poseidon.
back, Aloy. I see you have recovered Poseidon.
You see better than you used to? Alright. Good. Fishies.
Aloy, can you come downstairs? Beta has something you need to hear.
Alright, Beta can wait.
I'll be right down.
Aloy, I have managed to unlock additional rooms within the facility.
Got it.
Okay, first things first. Skills. We have to learn more. I think we're going to do this one. Resonator buildup. Then spinning scythe. Look at that. We're pros. Alright. Then from here, we're going to learn override subroutines. I think next we're going to learn the Destroyer. Hi, Gaia.
I'm back, Gaia.
Hello, Aloy. What would you like to discuss?
Our progress.
So there's a few people here now, and they're learning. All about you, the ancient world. Almost like what was supposed to happen before Apollo was purged.
Yes. While the loss of the Apollo database was catastrophic, there is still much that can be gleaned from the data you have uncovered. For instance, Varl has been reviewing the last recorded entries from those who perished during the Pharaoh Plague. Hearing their hopes and fears made him quite somber.
Anything I should be worried about?
I do not believe so. I have elected not to intervene, to allow him to process this on his own terms.
When I dove down into Vegas, I found data about the man who built the dome over the city, Stanley Chen. It turns out he was a member of Far Zenith. But if he loved Vegas so much, why did he abandon it? Why not try to save it?
The Zeniths, at their core, have proven to be exceptional survivalists. Faced with overwhelming odds of extinction, they chose to flee.
Even still, what he achieved. Water to the wasteland, an entire city brought back to life. 1,000 years later, the whole place was still on standby, just waiting for someone to come along and wake it up.
Alright. You go downstairs, Beta. It's just like, Aloy, you need to hear this. Hamburgers.
Beta believes the Zeniths want to use the terraforming system to wipe out life on Earth. Start over, so they can build it how they want.
Further supporting our hypothesis.
Why? Given their technology, they could wipe out the tribes of the world by easier means. And if they're the same people who left Earth 1,000 years ago, wouldn't they want the biosphere to be as it was?
It is likely they adjusted to different planetary conditions in their colony on Sirius. They may be trying to recreate that environment here.
Turning Earth into a new Sirius. Their own personal playground.
Okay.
So the Zeniths are the same people who left Earth. Physically immortal. How'd they figure it out?
From what we know of Far Zenith, it is plausible that prominent geneticists and engineers were offered a place aboard the Odyssey in exchange for their expertise. Given enough time, technology, and resources, any challenge can be overcome.
Like how Minerva eventually generated the deactivation codes for the Pharaoh Plague.
Exactly.
The Zeniths. Gerard, Eric, Tilda, Verbena. Beta said they were some of the most powerful people on Earth. Do you know anything about them?
Unfortunately, no. My personal database is limited to those who worked on Zero Dawn. Additionally, it appears Far Zenith was quite secretive about their members. Only one, Oswald Dalgard, was ever publicly known.
Right. He was the spokesperson back at their old launch facility.
What we can conclude from your and Beta's experiences is that the Zeniths are ruthless in pursuit of their goal. To protect life on Earth, they must be stopped.
Indeed. The signal and other subordinate functions.
The extinction signal didn't just wake Hades. It made every subordinate function self-aware. Why?
I have wondered this myself. So far as I can tell, Hades was the sole target, and the partial sentience imparted to other subordinate functions was incidental.
A signal that precise would require thorough knowledge of the system. How could the Zeniths know that?
From the records on your focus, it appears Far Zenith had an informant during the development of Zero Dawn.
Hank Shaw. He was supposed to steal a copy of the system for Far Zenith, but Elizabeth and Travis Tate caught him first.
Yes. It is likely Far Zenith acquired knowledge on the systems designed through him, despite his failure.
Okay.
So from what Beta told me, I guess we can assume the Zenith's technology is powerful in all sorts of ways, right?
Yes. As your encounters with them amply demonstrate, they appear to make extensive use of robotic servitors. Further, they seem to be equipped with some kind of protective energy field that shields them from harm.
They seemed indestructible, but that weapon the rebels used stripped their shield somehow.
Throughout history, every defensive technology has eventually been defeated by an offensive counterpart. While we lack the anti-shielding weapon, were I to absorb Hephaestus and utilize it to create a large force of combat machines, no shielding could withstand such an assault indefinitely.
So there's hope.
Always.
Okay.
What can you tell me about Demeter?
Demeter sows, fertilizes, and tends to plant life.
So once I bring it back, all the blight out there will start to get better.
While permanent restoration requires the abilities of Hephaestus, I may be able to improve conditions in the region for a while. However, a word of warning. Like Ether and Poseidon, Demeter's response to my query was highly irregular. Alone and frightened, it may have taken measures to assure its security.
Okay, I'll keep my guard up.
Yeah.
You mentioned that the superstorms have subsided. Is that Ether at work?
Yes. Thanks to Ether's capabilities, weather patterns in the local region should mostly stabilize for the time being.
That'll be a relief for the Tenakth. One of their villages is still recovering after a mudslide caused the whole place to flood.
I will continue to stabilize the atmosphere for as long as I can.
Okay.
Why did Ether take up residence in an ancient war museum?
As with the other subordinate functions, Ether needed to install itself on a processor with adequate storage and power. The one in the museum appears to have been sufficient, given that the holographic displays were still active.
So Ether was assured it could stay for as long as it needed to.
Correct. Though it is curious that it chose a place surrounded with the ancient ruins of aircraft.
Maybe it also felt at home there.
Maybe.
Were you able to make use of Poseidon?
Yes. Many rivers, streams, and lakes associated with the regional watershed have been detoxified. As a result, red algae growth levels have seen a marked decline. According to my data, however, it appears a localized occurrence of red algae continues to persist near the coast.
Maybe I'll look into it when I can. So, Poseidon spent the last 20 years hiding out in Las Vegas. From the data I found, it seems the city had an advanced water reclamation system. Is that why Poseidon went there?
Most likely. In an effort to protect itself, Poseidon sought out a safe harbor where it could access water supply functions. There, buried and encased in a protective dome, it could guard against any threats.
Like 3 Oseram showmen?
I suspect that was not the first time it felt the need to repel trespassers.
Indeed.
You said you need Hephaestus to save life from extinction. Why?
Every subordinate function has value, but Hephaestus is by far the most important. Only by recovering and merging it can I regain my ability to design and mass-produce new machines at cauldrons across the planet. Only through it can I program new machines and alter the tasking of existing machines to completely reverse environmental damage. Recovering other subordinate functions may buy us time, but without Hephaestus, I cannot permanently stave off mass extinction.
Given Hephaestus's importance, is there really no way to capture and merge it now?
I'm afraid that is quite impossible. In my present state, I am operating at less than 35% of my intended processing capacity. Hephaestus still exceeds this figure. Were an attempt made to conduct the merge under these circumstances, Hephaestus would absorb me, rather than the other way around. A merge cannot be attempted until my heuristic processing density exceeds its own.
And how many more subordinate functions is that gonna take?
Merging Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon will expand my heuristic network to 41.6% capacity, exceeding that of Hephaestus.
Excellent.
You said Hephaestus isn't located in just one place.
Correct. Unlike the other subordinate functions, which are confined to discrete physical processors, Hephaestus is distributed throughout the global network that connects the planet's cauldrons.
So when the time comes to subdue it, how do we make that happen?
I do not know. While you are retrieving the last subordinate function, Beta and I will attempt to find a solution.
So, once Hephaestus has been recovered and merged, you'll regain the capacity to mass-produce machines at cauldrons around the world.
Yes, and to program their behavioral routines, or even control them directly.
So you could build an army of machines. Attack the Zeniths and take them out.
It is in my nature to take any and all necessary steps to preserve life on Earth, human life above all. So yes, once I have been empowered with the capacities of Hephaestus, I could design, build, and command such an army. Given the nature of the far Zenith threat, doing so may be our only option. I must admit, however, that I have misgivings about using such technology to kill, no matter how aggressive the enemy.
That's good. It means you have a conscience. As Elizabeth intended.
Indeed.
Alright.
See you later, Gaia.
Let's go drop off our drone, talk to Beta, and that's what we'll be done for today.
There. Let's see what we got.
This function's cool, but you can't use it while you're talking to Gaia. It goes away. And it takes too long to activate.
An excellent choice.
But it's kind of neat being able to see all this. He's rocking out. He's hanging out with his wang out. It's true, I've never suplexed a sword while going ass to mouth. That remains factual.
Hi! Happy birthday, Isaac! Daddy sure does love his little big man.
She found that recording from the data on your focus. She's been watching it a lot. I think it helps calm her.
You know, I used to watch this a lot too. Whenever I wanted to take my mind off things.
Daddy sure does love his little big...
But there's something you need to tell me?
While you were gone, I came down here to check on her. Then we started talking. Right, Beta? She's been thinking about how to capture Hephaestus, studying the data Gaia gave her. But we started talking about some other stuff. You know, just getting to know each other, right? And then she told me that one of the Zeniths might be different from the others.
Tilda. You saw her at the Hades Proving Lab.
Go on.
On the way to Earth, the Zeniths never showed their faces. My servitor caretaker referred to them as my benefactors, and promised I'd meet them someday, when I had learned enough. And then, one day, a data channel opened in my training interface. In it, Tilda was waiting for me, in a virtual replica of a house on a cliff, overlooking the ocean. It was beautiful. She showed me paintings, books, media files. We met there in secret many times. But a few months later, it stopped.
Can you tell us why, Beta?
I found some data about Tilda at the Hades Proving Lab. I think she was the liaison between Far Zenith and Zero Dawn. She knew Elizabeth Sobek, that's for sure.
Maybe that's why she reached out to you?
What else can you tell us about Tilda? She liked to talk about her paintings. What about herself? Did she ever talk about her life on Earth, how she joined the Zeniths, something like that? She never said much about herself, and she hated it when I asked too many questions. But I think, back on Earth, she was an expert programmer, given that she built a data channel the other Zeniths couldn't detect. Is there anything else about her that we might be able to use to our advantage? She was the first real person who ever bothered to speak to me. I wasn't really assessing her for strengths and weaknesses.
I like how Tilda, the way they described her, just wanted Beta there to show off to, but would get upset when somebody who quite literally was born within, who knows how old she was when this happened, but within the past few years, give or take, and hated when that person who knew nothing of the world asked questions.
You said that Tilda reached out to you using a data channel? It appeared in my training interface as another assignment. When I opened it, there were a series of intermittent glitches. I realized they formed a transpositional cipher. Instructions on how to open up a new virtual space. When I entered it, my training interface disappeared. Instead of the usual holographic teachers and files, I was in a perfect recreation of her home. And you're sure the other Zeniths never knew about it? To them, it looked like I was still in training, toiling away, alone. So this secret virtual space looked like a house with an ocean view? I could see whitecaps and hear waves crashing on rocks below. And there were gulls crying outside. Inside, Tilda had frames that showed off her favorite paintings, changing at intervals to match the light. There was an armchair she liked. She'd sit there and gaze outside while I looked through her things. We spent hours in that house. I never wanted to leave.
Somebody's setting off fireworks right now. I don't understand the point of setting off fireworks. All of them were paintings of herself.
Paintings and let you access media files? Every time we met, she showed me a new painting. I think she was Dutch. All of her favorite pieces were from their golden age in the 1600s. Portraits, allegories, ships at sea. She had so many. That didn't interest you? I liked her media portal. It had so much more than my training interface. Clips, shows, holos. My favorite was this one called Second Time Around, about a family whose kid comes back after disappearing during the Hot Zone crisis. Right, but did this portal have anything about the Zeniths themselves? Anything we could use? No. Any information about them was redacted.
Oh, I feel bad for Beta. She was actually opening up there. They like shut her down.
So Tilda set up a secret virtual space where she could talk to you, a house on a cliff. Then later, she cut you off. But other than the fact that Tilda knew Elizabeth, you don't know why she did those things? I don't! Okay? I thought of every possible reason that would make her leave, but whatever I did wrong, I don't know what it is. When I finally met the others, she ignored me. Acted like the data channel never existed. None of this even matters. Tilda's the same as the others. It won't help us defeat them. Okay.
Hey, Miss Minigun.
Let's leave it at that then.
They just walked through that door.
What's wrong?
I'm trying, Varl. But she is tough to take. I'm out there in the wilds, risking my life every day, and all she can do is hide in there and tell us how hopeless it all is. I'm sorry, she's had a rough time, but she is really not helping right now.
You always seem to be on top of everything, so I sometimes forget about what you've been through. I mean, it wasn't that long ago you were so banged up you couldn't even walk. About that. When I pulled you out of the water back near the proving lab, you were muttering Rost's name. You never talk about him. But he raised you, trained you. You must miss him a lot.
Of course I do. But I don't have time to think about that now. I need to get back out there.
Okay. I'll keep working with Beta. Gaia says she knows a lot about Zero Dawn. And maybe she just needs some time to adjust, and then she can help us with Hephaestus.
Sure. But I won't hold my breath.
What do you think braids Aloy's hair? Do you think she does it herself? Hey.
Aloy. Is everything all right? It seemed like you and Varl were down at that basement for a while.
Yeah, everything's fine, I guess.
Well, okay. What can I do for you?
You still sifting through loads of data?
Yeah, it's interesting. There's lots of words. I thought maybe I could try finding things with more, pictures in it. Not much luck there, but I did find out about these holofilms. Like images put together to tell a story. They were made to look like they were the real thing. The Oseram-like shows. I bet they pay a lot of shards for those hollows.
It seems like you're getting
Aaron has been watching porn.
Yeah, it's been helpful. When I could make sense of anything. I did find the old ones enjoyed a good brew like the rest of us. Only they let machines serve the stuff in bars. They even let the damn things cut you off before you saw the underside of a table. And that's half the fun. You won't see me letting a robot serve me a pitcher anytime soon.
Good thing, Aaron.
How are things going around here?
Hey, you tell me. Varl's new girlfriend tried to kill me earlier.
What did you do?
I made one joke about how they, eat grass a lot. How does anyone fight with nothing but tree leaves in their stomach anyway?
From the looks of it, the Utaru.
Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting her to be that fast.
Just try not to get hurt.
Aaron got beat up by Zoe.
Game I keep seeing everywhere?
Oh, you mean Strike? Yeah, I'm just trying to get some practice in. Helps take my mind off things. Yeah, it's a Tanakh game. I thought about playing Katalo, but what if he tries to kill me if I win?
I think you're safe.
Yeah, I don't know. Heard a lot of things about that tribe.
Do I smell ale?
I brought some over from Chain Scrape. With everything that's been going on, I thought we could all use a drink. Besides, there is nothing that brings people together like a good brew. That's what my sister always said, anyways. You're more than welcome to have some.
Maybe another time. I should get going.
Back to reading, I guess.
I'll remind that he is, in fact, from another tribe. We got someone from like every tribe here now, I think. Except for the Banuk.
Got a sec?
I guess Banuk and Karja.
You brought up Rost before. I do think about him. You know, he was all I had. And he brought me up the best he could. Not only that, when Hades discovered who I was and sent the eclipse after me, he sacrificed himself so I could survive. But that seems like ages ago. So much has happened since. What I'm doing now, I don't think he could even begin to understand it. The sacred lands were all he really knew. So I can't let myself dwell on him. Not with everything I have to do.
I understand. Sometimes when I think about my sister, about what she would have become if she had survived the proving, it hurts. And I just need to bury it for a while. But only for a while, Aloy. You can't ignore it forever. Memories always come back. The ones that matter, anyway.
I know. But for now, the mission has to come first.
Fair enough.
They should just fuck already. Come on. Enough of this reverse harem bullshit. I mean, the dude got all mopey that Aloy left him behind. That's true.
It's hard to believe we're dealing with the original Zeniths. The same ones that left for Sirius 1,000 years ago.
To live on for so long, it doesn't seem natural.
Because it's not.
That weapon we found where Beta was hiding, any chance we can use that against them?
Sylens made sure that wasn't an option.
Why would he build something to hurt Far Zenith, yet allow them to capture you?
With Sylens, there's always an angle. We just don't know what it is yet. What do you make of this Tilda the Beta was talking about?
Well, the way she described it, I can't shake off the feeling that Tilda wanted something from Beta. Maybe because she's Elizabeth Sobek's clone? But whatever she wanted, I don't think she got it. If we knew what it was, maybe we could use it to our advantage somehow.
I don't know. I don't think Tilda and Elizabeth were on the best of terms.
Oh well. At least we can take some comfort in knowing the Zeniths don't trust each other.
Maybe.
That is a good point.
How's training?
Discovering something new about our past every day. When we first met, you asked me if I ever wondered what this world looked like when the old ones lived here. I had thought it was strange at the time, but a lot has changed since I left the Embrace. Now I'm just trying to make sense of everything I thought I knew, and versus everything I know now.
The change is hard, but it gets easier over time.
You like that Varl moved on when he realized Aloy was never going to settle down for a relationship? Yeah.
You feeling
That's what,
okay?
you know,
I was just thinking about
normal
Beta and all that
men
time
should do.
spent with the Zeniths.
Normal women should
To
do.
think someone
Normal
would
people.
make a person just to lock them in a room to use when needed, like some sort of tool. Elizabeth Sobek sacrificed herself for the world, and yet they have no trouble treating Beta like a slave.
Another reason we have to stop them.
Through that.
I should get back out there.
We'll be here if you need us.
Thanks, Varl. Alright, let's go talk to Zoe and then Katalo, and that's where we will be done for. Alright, Zoe, what do you got?
Aloy,
Hey, how's everything going?
I am well, but Varl told me Beta's having a hard time adjusting to life here with us. I wish there was something I could do to help.
I'm not sure any of us can.
A tree won't bear fruit in a day.
Yes, they know.
We'll do our best to make her feel welcome.
By they, who are you referring to? Our team or the Zeniths?
But she seems to trust Varl.
I still can't believe she told him the Zeniths are immortals. Old ones who cut themselves off from the cycle of life and decay. I've never heard of anything so selfish. To deny our dying bodies to the earth. To doom the life that would bloom in their place. It's despicable.
Yeah, so when we brought her in, Beta basically filled them all in, but she's a clone of Elizabeth Sobek that the Zeniths made so that they could get access to Zero Dawn.
Found anything else combing through that data?
Varl and I have been looking into the animals of the old world. Apparently there used to be thousands more species roaming around than there are today. Can you imagine that? I'd give anything to see them, even as holograms. Though I know that without Artemis or Apollo, that may prove difficult. At least I can find comfort in knowing Gaia used many of them as inspiration for her machines. Her memory honors them.
Beta. They know Beta and Aloy. But Beta's the one the Zenith made.
What are you going to learn next?
I'm not sure. I asked Gaia for suggestions, and she brought up data you found on something called a museum? From what I gather, the old ones would store knowledge in them for all to see and learn from, like you've done here for us. Maybe one day more people will be able to use this place.
Yes, but not exactly.
That sounds crowded, but nice.
So when the Zenith sent the signal to Earth that woke Hades and the other subordinate functions to a lesser degree, Gaia blew herself up. But before she did that, she sent a signal to the All-Mother Mountain to basically birth Aloy. And the reason for that was she wanted Aloy to reboot or reform Gaia. That was her purpose. So yes, it is technically to stop Hephaestus as well, but it was actually more along the lines to bring Gaia back.
Are you guys training with Erend as well?
If you count trying to stick a spear in his gut as training, then yes.
I've been told. Please tell me you weren't being serious, though.
Of course not.
Good.
I was going for a couple of broken bones. He called the Utaru leaf grazers. Laughed at the idea of us simple farmers being formidable fighters. Before I knew it, he and I were battling it out in the common room. The man is slow, but he can throw a hammer around. Don't look so worried. We're evenly matched. For now. Next time he's going down like a load of boar dump.
Just try not to kill each other.
Injuring his pride should be good enough.
Is there anything I can help with around here?
Oh, no. We're doing fine.
Are you okay?
You and Varl have been friends for a while.
I like to think so.
I was wondering, what do you know about his mother?
Oh.
That bad, huh?
Why do you want to know?
He's spoken of his sister, Vala, but I noticed he avoids talking about his mother.
She's the war chief of the Nora. Best warrior the tribe's ever known. Tougher than a Thunderjaw, but she could be pretty harsh at times.
I see. That must have been hard on him. Thank you for telling me. I feel silly not being able to ask Varl directly.
I wouldn't worry about it. He's probably afraid Sona will scare you off someday.
I'd like to see her try.
I should get going.
So yeah, the Awesomes believe every racist thing they're told. It appears so. Alright, Katala, where are you? This is Varl's room. Right, he was in the war room. That one. There he is. Hey, Katala.
Mind if we have a word?
Of course not.
I forget if we get a way to give him his arm back. That'd be cool.
Must be strange, seeing everything through a focus now.
I can see machines like never before. Their strengths and weaknesses simply reveal themselves to me. To think that such a tiny object might be the most powerful weapon I've ever possessed.
What do you think of this place? It must take some getting used to.
It's an efficient center of operations, and an acceptable training facility. Though it could use some more color.
Duly noted. Does it still hurt?
It comes and goes. I try not to think about it, but its absence is always present for me. It's difficult to explain.
I can't claim to understand. Only empathize.
Then you have my thanks.
Katala's just remarkably chill about everything, and I love it. Yeah. He's such a good character once you get past his initial.
I've had little chance to. I did see him bring some ale from out east.
That stuff's as bitter as salve-brush.
You get used to it, eventually. In fact, I wouldn't mind a drink myself.
I think there is one that wears it on the left side.
I should get going.
If I can help in some way, say the word.
I will. Thank you.
But didn't you know all of these are right-handed focuses?
Huh. That door's unlocked now. There's a lot of equipment in here. Gaia, what was all this for?
This room was designed for management of the facility's vast seed banks. From here, control center operatives would have monitored new crop rotations into the automated farmlands, now known as Plainsong.
I see.
Ah, so the plow horns would have planted on these.
I've been tackling the design of the Ag Lab. Place is gonna have a lot of seed stock to work with. My favorite? Sample 626. Calotropis gigantea. The crown flower. We used to have one in our backyard. Butterflies always fluttering around. Every morning, August would run out there to check under the leaves. See if any caterpillars turned into chrysalises. Now, I'd like to imagine that the future will be filled with them.
You know what? The more I think about it, the more Silence reminds me of Tony Stark. Wouldn't surprise me that Ted fucking Farrow is ableist too. He's generally doing things for the right reasons, but he just goes about it in the absolute worst way.
There are still thousands of plant samples stored deep below the facility. I could ask Gaia about them the next time I talk to her.
Sure. But there is something I want to check before we're... I'm not going to click those again. We already went through and did those. We'll do those again later. We go down here.
I don't think that door had power before, but looks like it's malfunctioning.
We'll check it again in a sec. Yeah, see, she's wearing hers on the left side of her head. I think it's just primarily to differentiate between Aloy. But yeah, Beta does things slightly different. Beta's demons are a bit different.
Looks like some kind of maintenance space.
I do like that you get to explore like more of the base as it goes on, so like your interest in the base just never really like wanes. I mean, it does probably, but it still gives you more reason to be interested.
Huh.
Hold on, what power source?
That did it.
Aloy? A bunch of lights just turned on up here? Was that you?
Oh. Huh. Yeah, I guess it was.
There's another power cell, so I don't know where to bring it. I have to figure that out. Hey, lights. Camera, action. Alright, let's head out to the east side. That's west. Let's go over here. We're gonna hit up the save point, and that's where we'll be done for today. I guess she like fucking just brought up her entire village, it seems like, worth of materials. Yeah, I like that the base show changes the more people show up as well. Okay, we're gonna do this quest tomorrow. But yeah, we can't do it now, so. There's also more stuff to do down here we can do now that we can swim underwater. We'll think about that though. Yeah. Yeah, we've uncovered a huge amount of the world, but there's still a big old area we haven't gone here, plus the DLC. So, lots to do left. But yeah. YouTube, thank you for viewing. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. This will be a long video.